I put up a video already of the early demo for PuzzleArt, which is a game that's become really popular since I came up with the design. I often do things that, I just have to sit on the ideas for years and then someone else does them because I didn't have the money to do it myself. And then somebody else does it, has great success with it. So a lot of people have done this game design years after I brought it to Brendon and we did it. I actually brought it to Dr. Jen Jensen, who was a supervisor for some of my master's work. And the original concept was not puzzles of paintings or anything like that. The original concept was for maps when you visit cities, so if you're visiting Berlin, you'd get like a street map and it would be chopped up as a puzzle and you would sort of like figure it out that way. And then I talked to somebody about it and they did a demo for it back in like 2013, and that person was like, I don't really think it's like that engaging or whatever, and then I agreed, and so then I thought, well, what about just artwork? And I did the Masterpieces edition here with Brendon because it was legal, these are familiar artworks, but you don't have to pay any royalties or anything like that. So let's get started. So the concept was real simple. It was essentially just chop up a puzzle and as if it were a jigsaw, but instead of the jigsaw being the challenge, like the jigsaw cuts, it's more the rotation and so on. So it starts simple. The easy levels were simple. We had some interesting features. The UI is kind of poor. It was our first game, but this is the tutorial. So this is how you rotate the piece. This is how you move the piece. And the third one was the invert. And then you would get a skill testing question at the end, and you'd have to guess who the artist was. And Brendon and I put everything together, picked the sounds, and I think I picked out some of this, and then he'd say whether he thought it looked good or not. You had the admire button here, so you can make the UI go away and just see the painting in full. So we can keep going and we'll do a couple more here. So you get little tips. I think that was Brendon's idea, to get little tips. So this one only has the first set of levels. It was only that you move it, and if you get it in the right spot, then it highlights. So I guess I still don't have that in the right spot. You would think that I would have that in the right spot. There it is. Now it's in the right spot. You can see it's in the right spot. So you're just following the sort of the patterns like a puzzle to try to, you look for the visual pattern, and hopefully you get it set up right. I think one of them went in the right place haphazardly. That must be that with the red down there. Those two worked out. And let's see whether we can figure this one out. Oh, sorry, you hear the click. So you hear a little click when it's in the right spot. The umbrella's there, and we're done. You guess who it is. And you get stars based on how many moves it took. You could admire it. So let's go to the next block of levels. So this was medium. These were harder. We'll do level 11, I guess. And if you did well with your stars, we allowed it so that you could unlock a new level with the stars. So here you also have to rotate. So you can see that the faces are not there. That's already in the right spot. Oh, that's not actually supposed to be the way. You're supposed to also be able to move it. That was just a coincidence because it's different each time. So Brendon programmed it so that it would be different each time. So you can kind of figure out the layers there. Best thing to do is kind of rotate everybody first so that you can kind of see everybody right side up. That looks like it might go here. And oh no, that's right. And that's right. And probably this one. down there, yeah. And we got the sky pieces. Sometimes the sky pieces were hard, so what you'd have to do is you'd have to replay. You can see in the top right the number of moves that you've used. And sometimes you'd have to replay the level if you wanted to get all the stars because... Oh, that's weird. There we go. You'd have to replay it and sort of kind of start to memorize how like sky pieces would fit in. I'm trying to think about this must be like this. There we go. And those two at the top you can already see they kind of go together, but they're not in the right spot. And I think that's this tree. Yeah. And so here's the last one. So I think this is Goya. So I'll say Spanish. So I did get 3 stars on that. And I got the little book in the middle is that I got the skill testing question right. So you could, if you got the question wrong, then you could see in the top left of each level, you know, and then you'd have to redo it. So eventually it got very hard, and so you can see that there's the gold frames around the paintings here. That means it was a 3-star. It got 3-starred. It was done in the number of moves that it should be done in, and then it gets so difficult that, you know, you're not 3-starring anymore. I 3-starred some of these mainly by memorizing them. And the game got so difficult that I didn't even bother playing through to the very end. It was just too hard. But if you were a puzzle aficionado, you'd probably appreciate these harder levels. So I thought that the godlike block of levels was really good. And but you'll see how hard it gets. We can do the, I think this is Bruegel or something. So this is the second hardest block of and I think they gave us a starting piece just by luck. So now you got to invert, you know. That worked, right? So you're going to rotate that there. And try to sort of think through visually, but then you might have to invert it. It might not be right. In fact, that's that. And eventually what will happen is you'll realize you're using up all your moves, testing things out. That maybe goes there. Yep. So there's a bit of, you know, at first, but if you know the painting, then you're going to have a better job of it. So I'm going to back out of this level actually. So here were you go back to the level select game. There was a store for buying, like, you know, we just took some music that was like legal to use, some like Joplin stuff. Anyway, that was PuzzleArt Masterpieces. And I had fun making that game with Brendon, and he went on to have a lot of success with a Twitch game, Marbles on Twitch, and I went on to not make any more games, which is sad because I had a lot of great designs, and this was the first one. This was the first game, but nothing became of it. Didn't have the startup funds and didn't hustle. You know, you have to hustle. These days it's not good enough that there are no scouts anymore, so it's not good enough to have talent. It's not good enough to have a great idea. You actually have to be adept in marketing yourself. So you know, you can be a shit creator, or you could be a mediocre creator. Like, you could be worth like 5 out of 10 with your ideas, but if you're 10 out of 10 with your self-promotion and your marketing abilities, then you'll get in. Which is kind of probably why culture's gone down the toilet, you know, because those are the people that ascend now, as the people that can just hustle and convince you that they're good. Meanwhile, the people that are really good, well, you know, they're focused on the thing that they're good at. In my case, maybe it's like game design or whatever, and it's not shameless self-promotion. And so, you know, I don't get discovered and what have you. But this was a great game. I posted the APK online, but I don't know whether that's still active, whether it still exists. So this might be the only way to have ever really seen this game. But Since then, like a dozen game studios have basically taken this idea. It's not that they stole it from me. I'm not gonna. Maybe they did, but I'm not accusing anybody of stealing the concept. The concept is a straightforward one that when I thought of it, it came to me within about a year of thinking about it. It takes other people 10 years or 5 years. That's happened to me dozens of times with different things, you know? It's not that, oh, what an original idea, only I could come up with it. No, it's just, I'm just a little bit smarter, faster thinking, you know? That's all. I just think of this shit faster than other people, but I don't have the money, so I can't do anything about it.